mean, I always loved the Guinness Book of Records. It was sort of like my Bible growing up as a kid. I would admire all these people who could do these amazing things. I just never figured that I would be able to do it. The guidelines for longest duration balancing a lawnmower on chin. Obviously, it should be done in a level spot indoors. The lawnmower is balanced by placing its handle on the chin of the participant. Time stops as soon as the participant touches any part of the lawnmower or it falls off the chin. Hey, Magni! Yeah? Let's try the piggyback. You know, I get fulfillment every time I do a record, even when I'm doing a stupid record. I did that record with the sloth, you know, blowing a stamp for the fastest 100 meters. I was holding a three-toed sloth. At the end of that record, I was so happy. I mean, I'm just beaming with joy. So this is Machu Picchu. Isn't it beautiful? I'm going for two. The highest difference in elevation climbed.
Okay.
And
Altitude gain? Or...
Altitude gain,
yeah.
Exactly. And also the highest summit. Another one of the great things about the Guinness Book is that, you know, you see things that you would never think of doing, you know, yourself. And then, so you see, you know, records. And one of them is walking on stilts. If you just go to Machu Picchu, have you summited a mountain or not? Is that actually like
no, Machu Picchu itself, no.
It's not. It's not
really.
It's not the summit.
No.
Okay.
From the temple, it would
Right.
probably take you some like 2-3 hours.
Well, that's a good trek.
But that's just to get to the temple, and then
Oh,
another
okay.
2-3 hours.
Okay,
to get
well
to the top.
that's
like
that's fine.
We figured somewhere like that.
5 hours on stilts at altitude. So they're saying it's 8,920 feet. So basically, you know, we climb up to this and then we just, you know, go up there. I mean, depending on how hard that climb is on stilts.
There's nobody there who's gonna be upset if we do this.
Oh no, you definitely have to get permission and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Wow, it looks amazing. I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so I should start training, basically. I was a pretty big nerd, as they say. You know, I mean, I really was very, very mental, and you know, I didn't have much of a life.
He was first in his class of kids who really worked hard.
He was very industrious. I mean, I never had to say, do you have homework?
I used to discuss my cases with him. He had a remarkable facility for asking questions that got right to the heart. He would have made an outstanding lawyer.
My father was an attorney. I was kind of going in that direction, you know, be an attorney. And I said, this is not the life that I want. You know, there's got to be some deeper meaning to life, you know? And that was sort of like the beginning of my search for something more profound. I tested out Judaism. I didn't really find what I was looking for there. I started reading books on Eastern spirituality. I really identified with Buddha. I wanted to attain enlightenment, if possible. And that's when I started searching for a teacher, and I found my teacher, Sri Chinmoy. I'd say as soon as I saw Sri Chinmoy, I knew he was my teacher. I mean, I actually saw, you know, like light. I mean, I knew from the second I saw him that he was a holy person and that I wanted to follow him.
Well, it just seemed out of the norm. It was not what I would expect of him, nor any parent would expect.
He could have gotten into Harvard, any school that he wanted, because he had the grades for it.
When I found out he had dropped out of school, we had a sharp confrontation.
My dad was like totally furious. He wanted to disown me. He wouldn't support me anymore. He offered me everything. He offered me, fully paid vacations, Cadillacs. I mean, everything.
My preference would be that he be a lawyer because I knew he had the mind for it. And that created some estrangement between us.
Imagine being at the bottom of the ocean. You're at peace, and it's just quiet. That's what meditation feels like. I get this enormous energy after meditation. Like somehow it recharges my batteries. I want to pick somebody up and spin them around, or like I want to start, jumping or hopping or running or yodeling or something. This is my first attempt at the bear. It's called a bear crawl on Bear Mountain. Use certain muscles, relax other muscles. Anyway, it's gonna be exciting. And then we finish up with a bear cat. A lot of the records are kid stuff. Hopping, jumping, rolling, juggling, throwing pies in people's faces. It makes me happy. It's a lot different. You can say in a way I'm kind of reliving my childhood. But I've been reliving my childhood my entire life practically at this point.
It took 12 men just to lift the 882-pound pumpkin in place. But once there, it proved no match for it to be lifted by 75-year-old fitness champion and global harmony leader, Sri Chinmoy.
I kind of had a bit of a problem because Sri Chinmoy is totally into sports. His philosophy is you can find spiritual truth through sports. I kind of ignored that aspect for quite a few years, but I could feel like it's this pressure, building up. And I figured, okay, Sri Chinmoy must see that I could do this. I made up my mind, I'm gonna break a Guinness record. I decided to do jumping jacks. It was a little tough, but I got through it, and I decided to stop at 27,000. To me, because I was so unathletic, it felt like a miracle. Hey, Bipin. So, sorry it took us a little while, but we're basically ready. Are you available? The thing about the Guinness records is that you have to be experimenting all the time. Bipin is sort of like my, Guinness guy. One of his talents is that he's very accurate at throwing little things. He's a really good guy. These are actually elephants. And an elephant actually goes side to side. Can you go side to side? Yeah, that's better. Wow. Whoa. Man, that's intense.
He was following somebody who was from India and professed to be very close to God. Any person would think that this is a cult. You have the Moonies, you have the Hare Krishna, and you read about these people being brainwashed and dominated. It was totally out of my realm of understanding.
I knew that I just didn't want to follow the normal way. Experiencing the joy of pushing, of being an athlete. Like I was an athlete for the first time in my life. It was amazing. It's just amazing. I'm actually climbing Mount Washington on stilts.
You are?
Yeah, but not that high, but anyway.
Well, no, but it's stilts.
Yeah. Would they stop me going up on stilts, do you think?
Do they know you're going up on stilts?
No, I haven't told anybody.
You haven't? Serious?
No, seriously.
I know that they won't. Yeah, you must have.
No, I really haven't.
You're gonna have to find out because I know they've got. This is the first time in 10 years that they're having the auto race up there with cars.
Right, but not tomorrow. I'm a little nervous. From what I understand, you know, there's a chance they're going to stop me, especially if there is a road race going on. Here we go. I remember I saw Mount Fuji for the first time. It was beautiful. My breath was taken away, and I said, you know, I want to try to climb Mount Fuji on a pogo stick. I was getting towards the end. I'd already broken the record. I was like at 14 miles. I was coming down Mount Fuji, and it was pouring rain. I'm like exhausted. One of the witnesses was an expert insect guy, and all of a sudden he starts screaming at me, Astrida, he's hopping up and down, waving his hands, Astrida. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you know, somebody's died, or, you know, I don't know what could have happened. So I finally get to where he is, and he says, Shrita, look at that moth. Do you realize that is one of the rarest moths I've ever seen? It's this moth on a tree. It was like, I could not believe it. But it just shows you, what people are into. The only problem with Mount Washington is the weather is not great.
But if it goes well, it actually is a record in itself.
Yeah, that's true. If I gain more than 3,000 feet in elevation, then we could take it as a record. Anyway, it's an adventure. We'll see what happens. Assuming we don't get kicked off.
It's like some kind of a checkpoint or something. God, it's like a major tourist attraction. Holy cow.
Well, you know what? I think it's because there's like a whole bunch of, it's an auto.
Hi, we're going up on the road up the mountain.
No traffic going up the road right now, sir. The road is hot.
Oh, interesting.
All right, so Can we just pull in the parking lot until we figure out what we're doing? And
Yeah, you guys, the lodge is still open. If you guys want to go in the lodge at all, and,
Okay.
you know, research it. The schedules are all up in the lodge as well.
Okay. I think this is basically this thing is off. Is there anything we can do to resurrect?
Well, the only other thing I can think of is if I can get in touch with Kurt, there might be a trail. Kurt is a guide. I mean, he takes people up Mount Washington on trails. Hi, Kurt. Yeah, we're here at the start. It's raining, but I mean, it's not gonna. You know, we can't use the road. We came to Mount Washington to climb to the top on stilts. As it turns out, there's an auto race today. I never checked with Mount Washington because I didn't want to get involved in having to get permission to go up. I guess the moral of the story is before you drive 8 hours in a car with a dog to New Hampshire, first call and get permission.
But Sri, I'm telling you, this business of just going to these places and then finding out when we get there that you're not allowed to is ridiculous.
You know what? I had no idea. Well, you see, it's all the fault of the rodents.
Of what?
The rodents.
The
rodents chewed up Kurt's telephone wire because he would have told me that I can't just try to sneak up the road.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to drag you all the way out here. Oh, God.
Come on, get off of there. Come on, stop it. All right. God.
All right, hey.
Thanks, Sri. Well, then you grab him.
All right, I'll get him. Okay. Hey, champ. Wait. Anyway, you know what? It's a nice trip. I had a good time with Champ. I had a good time with the guys. And it's just part of the process. And, eventually we'll get there, one way or another.
Here I am, not talking to my son, not having any contact with him. And I miss him, and I miss seeing him, I miss talking to him. And I'm starting to question whether I am doing the right thing.
The owners of Anand Brahma are my friends. They asked if I would chip in and help out, 1 or 2 nights a week. Naturally, after the second time, I said, well, I wonder how fast I could do this. I look forward to every, garbage night. Now I'm up to 3 nights a week. Can I break my record?
Little by little, I started concluding that what he wanted was not so terrible. And then I decided that if I was going to have a relationship with my son, it had to be on his terms. And why not? Because it was his life. I essentially said, if this is the life you are happy with and this is what you want to do, I'll be supportive. He's my son.
know, to me, setting a goal for yourself and then overcoming all the obstacles, physical, mental, creative, and then, you know, achieving that goal, and then being, you know, realizing, okay, you're the best in the world in that event, even though it might be, you know, ridiculous or silly. I guess, to me, it's a thrill to, you know, find something, you know, that, yeah, that seems almost impossible, and the thrill never wears off.
Guinness World Records Day is tomorrow. What are the record or records you're going to be attempting?
Well, yeah, I actually came over here just to break this record in London. I saw this picture in the Guinness book of this Chinese guy walking in the world's heaviest shoes. So we're going to try that tomorrow to walk 10 meters in the world's heaviest shoes.
There's not a major publication that has not at one time or another featured him, including, not long ago, the Wall Street Journal, on the front page, no less. When a legitimate publication with a good writer said that Ashrita Furman may be the greatest athlete in the world, I think he knew what he was talking about, and that there is some merit to that.
He'll continue doing this until he gets maybe a little older. How old was Jack LaLanne? You know, and he was, well, of course, it's a little different.
He is the happiest person I know. Isn't that what every parent wants?